All right, so you've built a great product, you've launched your website, but the customers aren't exactly lining up. Sound familiar? If you're a small business owner trying to get noticed in this crazy crowded online world, it can honestly feel like you're just shouting into the void. But what if there was a way to get a direct line to people who are actively looking for what you sell, like right now? Well, that's the promise of pay-per-click advertising, or PPC. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it works and how you can use it to get results fast. So, here's our game plan. First up, we'll get a handle on the basics. What even is PPC? Then, we'll tackle the big question. Where should you spend your money? Search engines or social media? After that, we'll map out a strategy for your campaign, figure out how to find your perfect audience, and finally, how to track everything so you actually know what's working and what's not.
Okay, let's dive right in with that first step. What in the world are we talking about when we say PPC?
Well, if you're looking for a way to get leads and sales without a giant, complicated marketing plan, this is honestly one of the best places to start. Just think of it like a direct line that connects you to potential customers at the exact moment they need you. It's all about being the answer that pops up right when they ask the question.
Part of what makes PPC so awesome is right there in the name. Unlike old school ads where you pay for a billboard just for it to be seen, which is called an impression, with PPC, you only open your wallet when someone is interested enough to actually click on your ad. It's a model built on real engagement, not just visibility. You're paying for action, not just, exposure. So this brings us to the main challenge of any PPC campaign, and it's really a balancing act. Your goal is simple: get as many relevant clicks as you can. But you want to do it while paying the lowest possible price for each of those clicks. That price has a name you'll hear constantly: CPC, or cost per click. Getting that CPC down is the name of the game, because every cent you save on a click is a cent you can use to find another customer. To get a better feel for this, let's hear from HubSpot's own PPC expert, Dominic Taguinod. He says that PPC lets you precisely target your audience. And that right there gets to the heart of it. It's not about just blasting a message out to a huge audience that doesn't care. It's about whispering the right message to the right person at exactly the right time. That precision is what makes it so darn efficient. Okay, so the concept makes sense. But now comes the next huge question. Where do you actually run these ads? The internet is a massive place. So let's look at the two main arenas for PPC: search engines and social media.
Dominic Taguinod just nails it here. There's no single best platform for everyone. The right choice completely depends on your customer's mindset. Are they actively searching for a solution to a problem they already have, or are they just casually scrolling, maybe open to discovering something totally new? This is the fundamental difference we've got to understand.
And here's that core difference, laid out plain and simple. Think of search ads, like on Google, as fishing in a stocked pond. The fish are already there and they're hungry for a solution. They're literally typing "best running shoes for flat feet" into the search bar. You just have to be the right bait. Social ads, on the other hand, are kind of like putting up a brilliant, eye-catching billboard on a super busy highway. You're interrupting someone's journey to say, "Hey, wait, check this out," and creating a need they didn't even know they had. So why would you start with search ads? Well, the biggest advantage is timing. You are meeting a customer at the exact moment of their need. But for a small business, there's another huge benefit: simplicity. You don't need a fancy photo shoot or a big video production budget. You can launch a really effective campaign with just some well-written text. That makes it an incredibly accessible and low-cost way to get into advertising.
But what if your product is so new or innovative that people don't even know to search for it? This is where social ads are just brilliant. For example, think about an app that finds and cancels all your forgotten subscriptions. You probably weren't Googling how to cancel subscriptions I forgot about, right? But when that ad popped up in your feed, it probably sparked a little aha moment. That is the magic of social advertising. It creates demand by introducing a solution to a problem you didn't even realize you had.
All right, you've picked your platform. Now, before you spend a single penny, you need a plan. Seriously, launching a campaign without clear goals is the fastest way to just burn through your hard-earned money.
This is where a lot of new advertisers get it wrong. They start with a fuzzy goal like get more customers. To be effective, you have to get specific. You need what's called a key performance indicator, or KPI. This is a single, measurable target that tells you if your campaign is a success. Are you aiming for 100 new email subscribers, 50 app downloads, 20 sales of a specific product? Knowing your KPI is like having a North Star. It guides every single decision you make from here on out.
Now, for the million-dollar question.
How do you set your budget? Instead of just guessing a random daily amount, Dominic suggests a much smarter way: reverse engineering. It all starts by figuring out your cost per acquisition, or CPA. That's just the maximum amount you're willing to spend to get one new customer. For example, if you make $50 profit on your product, maybe you're willing to spend up to $20 to get that customer. Once you know your CPA, you can work backward to figure out how much you can afford to pay for each click. And that gives you your target CPC. See? This whole method ties your budget to profitability right from the start.
Okay, once your campaign is up and running, the focus shifts to making it better. How can we get that cost per click even lower and make more profit? Well, one of the most powerful tools you have is targeting. The more precisely you can show your ads to only the most relevant people, the more efficient your spending becomes, and the better your results will be. It's that simple.
And you've got two main toolkits for this. On search platforms, it's all about keywords, matching your ad to the exact phrases people are typing in. On social media, you can get incredibly specific with demographics, like age, location, and language, or you can go even deeper and target people based on their interests, their behaviors, or even recent life events. This is how you stop shouting into the void and start having actual one-on-one conversations.
And this brings us to a super important part of a successful campaign that so many people miss. What happens after the click? Imagine someone clicks your ad for blue running shoes. If you just send them to your generic homepage, you're making them do all the work again. It creates friction. The right way is to send them to a dedicated landing page that shows them, you guessed it, blue running shoes. You want to make the path from that click to the final conversion as smooth and easy as possible.
So your campaign is live. It's targeted. Now what? You can't just set it and forget it. You need a system to track your results, to understand the story your data is telling you, and to see what's actually making a difference for your business.
To know if your campaign is really working, you've got to track a few key numbers. First, you've got impressions. That's just how many times your ad was shown on a screen. It basically measures your reach. Next up, clicks. This tells you how many people were actually interested enough to click. It measures interest. But the most important metric here, by far, is conversions. A conversion is when someone does the thing you wanted them to do. They buy something, they sign up for your newsletter, they download your app. Clicks are great, but conversions are what actually grow your business. And finally, you'll track the average cost for each of these things so you know exactly where your money is going and what you're getting back.
A PPC campaign is never really done. The goal is constant improvement. The best way to think about it is like you're a scientist in a lab. You're always running little experiments. What happens if I change the headline? What if I use a different picture? Does a 10% discount work better than free shipping? You test, you measure, you keep what works, and you ditch what doesn't. It's this continuous cycle of improvement that turns good campaigns into great ones.
So, there you have it, the playbook for getting started with PPC. We've gone from the absolute basics to picking a platform, setting a smart budget, finding your audience, and measuring your success. You now have this incredibly powerful tool that can give you a direct, measurable connection between your business and the people who really need it. The only question left is, who are you going to reach first?